We are live. Welcome back, everybody, to Unveiling Addiction. I have a special guest today. I am honored to have a guest come on. I'm honored to be doing what I'm doing first and foremost. So I've been unraveling quite a bit of stuff about Suboxone and these MAT meds, and there's been some really disgusting experiences that I've been hearing. I mean, there is such a slew of people right now that are stuck on Suboxone or stuck on MAT meds, right? And when I first started doing this show, it was really just going to be based on addiction, and it still is. It really still is. But there is some kind of agenda going on here, and I know the opioid epidemic was massive, right? I mean, there are so many people survivors of it, people fighting. It's unbelievable. But I just didn't realize the slew of people that were on the Suboxone and that were stuck. And so I'm really honored to have Janie Price. I think she had found my TikTok, and something really resonated with her, and she wants to speak her truth today. And this platform is going to be for anybody that wants to come and speak their truth, because it's okay. It's okay. Listen, I used to smoke dope. I used to shoot. It's all right. Sometimes we just don't have the coping mechanisms to deal with a lot of the emotions and pains and traumas. And so some of us, that's what we did to numb that shit down. So, I'm going to quit rambling on here. Hey, everyone. How are you? Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. It really means the world to me. All right, Miss Janie, let me bring you on. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for coming on today and being brave enough to come on here and speak your truth. I'm trying to get more and more people to come and speak their truth, because that's what this platform is going to be about. It's going to be about us coming together and speaking our truth and find a solution for this problem. Okay. And it's going to be done. I promise you, we're going to find an easier way to navigate this shit. So let's get into this a little bit, Janie. How did we? This is my first time meeting Janie, just so you know. Okay, and I love it, right? So we're just gonna go with the flow here. How did you come across my content? What was it? How did we come together?
I was scrolling through TikTok the other day and I seen one of your lives that you had did, and I went from there onto YouTube and was watching your videos, and I was like, okay, well, these people seem, we all have one thing in common. We were on drugs, on Suboxone, some stuff still stuck on them. Thank God I had, I'm off of it. I've been off a month today on the Brixadi injection.
Good
I
call.
don't know about that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, that's how I came across the box. And I just got to message you guys. I'd like to be one of you guys to come on to tell my story, tell my truth. Maybe my story could help someone else.
I love that. I absolutely love that. That's right, because I had another guest that he wanted to come on and speak his truth, and then it can be discouraging. He was like, I saw it, and I really want, and I respect that, right? I totally respect that. I don't want to pressure anybody into doing anything, and I think with some time, more and more people will probably want to come and speak their truth. So let's get into this a little bit, Miss Janie. Where did this start for you? So did this start as did your addiction start like as a prescription Vicodin in the doctor's office? Did it start with Suboxone? Yours
It
started, of course it did.
started the multiple surgeries. I've had bilateral hip replacements. I've had both of my shoulders replaced. Um, I have degenerative disc disease and a bone joint disorder. I've got lupus, and that's where my addiction to came from. And of course, like any other person, started taking more and more, started abusing them, started failing drug screens, missing appointments, buying them off the streets when I ran out, like days after to get them filled.
Mhm.
And then the doctor was like, okay, well, there's this new drug out called Suboxone.
Mm.
Okay, all
Right.
right, I'll try it. If it helps, I'll take your word. Well, my idiotic self didn't about it, didn't do my research, got on it, been on it for about 15
Okay.
years now.
Okay, but But no, you can't. We can't do that. You know what I mean? We can't. Listen. I think about that too, right? I think like, geez, what was I even thinking? I went from one to another. Like, what was I even? But we are so desperate because we have now gotten so immune. We're taking 15, 20 Vicodin a day. I don't know about you, but I was there at one point. Yeah. And when it gets that out of hand, then they're presenting you a solution, right? Here you go. You can just put this one little thing underneath your tongue. It's going to last all day long. Okay. And here's a solution to your problem. So yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just don't, when when you're desperate like that, you're not thinking. You're literally in fight or flight. So you're not going to make a rational decision. So let's not be so hard on ourselves.
I know, but just thinking back now, I'm just
I
like,
know.
wow, know what I know now.
I know, me too. But listen, that's why we're coming together. You're like you said, your story is going to help that next person, right? So yeah. So I didn't interrupt you. So the doctor gave you the Suboxone, and you can go on. Sorry.
He offered rehab. I went into rehab, did all that, was going to meetings and everything, and then started abusing Suboxone. I've been
Okay.
on it almost 15 years now, and yeah.
Okay. So all right. So you got your Suboxone in a rehab. Is that you had to go to the detox to get your Suboxone? Is that where they put you on it, or the doc?
Yeah, he was like, you can go to rehab, they'll give you more. I can only give you so much right now, to help you with the pain, because where I was abusing the opioids and stuff, he's like, well, I can only give this to you for so long. You can go to rehab and get a prescription, this is just temporary. So that's what I did.
So when was that?
This
When
was
was that?
2011.
Okay. Well, because the reason I asked that is because, like I had mentioned to you earlier, at one point, this drug was you could only be prescribed it in rehab. Okay. And now I've come to find that they have loosened up the reins, and I'm trying to figure out if they did it. I think they used COVID to be able to do it, but I know they tried to push this through before then. But they used COVID as a great opportunity to now loosen the reins to where you used to have to have this X waiver. Okay. It was like extra education, like working in a rehab, like all this extra stuff to be able to prescribe this Schedule 3 drug. Right. And so now they used COVID as people were overdosing and not being able to deal with the stress. So now they're loosening the reins where nurse practitioners and physician's assistants are prescribing this drug. That is why there are so many. You can't prescribe. This is a Schedule 3 drug. So that's why there's so many people, and of course they used COVID to be able to do that. So that's why I'm asking, right? I'm really trying to unravel as much as I possibly can and learn as much as I can about this, because there's an agenda. There is something going on here. There's something going on, because every time somebody asks their doctor to bring them down, the doctor's like, let me bring them up. Every once in a while I hear, oh, my doctor, is okay with my taper. So anyways, that's why I asked you that. Sorry about the rant. But I asked you that. So the doctor prescribed you. Now, did they taper you down and then you were off when you got out of rehab, or did they send you home with a Suboxone script?
They sent me home with a script. Because when they first told me about it, they were like, "Oh, this isn't long term, blah blah blah." Well, you end up getting addicted to this shit. Like, how is this not long term? It's just like the pain pills. It's not long term, but we're going to send you home with a prescription. Here's your doctor to get a hold of when you.
Okay, so you went into rehab for your opioid addiction. You go in there, they put you on Suboxone, and a lot of rehabs will just use Suboxone as a taper, and then you go home. They don't. So they sent you home with Suboxone. Yeah. Okay. I'm also hearing a lot of they're putting prisoners on Suboxone, just putting them on Suboxone. And when you're in prison like that, I mean, oh, it just infuriates me. Okay, so let's see some people in the chat, or we got a lot of people in the chat here, or let's see. Yeah, I have no problem with people on subs for the first 3 to 5 days. I agree with that. I agree that there is a time and a place if you do it correctly. But these doctors they're not even doctors. They're not. None of
pill
them know
mills.
shit. What's that?
I used to call them pill mills. They push anything on you to make their money.
Did you ever have any experience with the pill mills?
Oh yeah.
You did?
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And let's get into that a little bit. You went to these pill mills, and I mean, what did that look like for you? I know for me, you could just walk right in there. I had no MRI. I was like, this is what's going on with me. I wasn't even 21 years old, and he wrote me, here's 120 Vicodin, 120 Somas, and 60 Xanax. There you go. And you could do that more than once. You could go to 2 different doctors. So, and people were selling them. It was crazy. So what was that like for you?
Yeah, pretty much the same experience. You go in, you pay them cash, they'll write you out whatever you want.
Yep.
A couple of them I went to have gotten shut down here about 5 years ago that I was reading on Google. I was like, yep, it finally got their butts busted. Some
Yeah.
of them
Oh,
went to
well,
prison.
I'm surprised they were even still running, right? Because I mean, these pill mills I remember like back was, like 20s and 30s. It was so easy, really more 20s. It was so easy to just get a prescription. Let's see, no reason to use it for detox either. There are better options that don't require you to be sick before you start. I mean, I feel like, they're putting you on a drug. You have to get to the root of the problem, right? You have to why do you have that addiction in the first place? What is it you're trying to mask, right? What are you trying to numb? But leave it to big pharma to be like, and I get it, right? Some people are strung out on heroin, fentanyl, whatever the case may be. You do a little Suboxone, you do a taper, it helps you come off. I get that, but they're not using that for this. They're really not. So the only push the only push what big pharma wants out there. Okay, so you get out of rehab, and you have a Suboxone script. Now, did you say you were still on Suboxone currently right now?
No, I am today makes a month. Okay, I got off of Suboxone about 5 months ago. I took the Sublocade injection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from the Sublocade injection, I went to the Brixadi injection, the lowest dose that you could possibly get, and then I only took it twice, and today makes a month, nothing.
Okay. I'm glad for you. So let's talk a little bit about this. So let's talk, because we've talked about the Sublocade. Me, I just had so much experience with big pharma that I just, any solution, anything that they call a solution is usually not. So I have a really hard time, but I am 100% supportive of any and all perspectives. I want to hear it all, because that's how we learn. That's how we solve these problems, right? Because we have to learn all perspectives. So tell me a little bit about this shot and your experience with it.
Okay, the Sublocade injection is, this is how it was explained to me. It is pretty much Suboxone in a liquid form that they put in, like a shot into your stomach that forms a medicine depot, which is a big knot in your stomach, for 30 days, and it releases the medicine daily into your system.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what was that like whenever you first had that injected? What did you feel like? Why
It
smiling? What happened? What happened?
will not lie about that. It hurt really, really bad. It
Yeah.
burned for like an hour straight. And it kind of made me feel like I was high when I first got the injection,
Did
honestly.
it? Did it?
Yes. Yes,
How
it
long
did.
did that? When you say high, what kind of high? Like the opiate high? The opiate high?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
And how long did
hmm
that go on?
That was probably about the half day that I felt like that. Like I was all cloudy, and then next morning I woke up and I was fine. But you know,
Mm.
they don't tell you the long-term effects from these injections or anything like that, you know what I mean?
Right.
I
Did you?
was doing it so I wouldn't abuse my medicine. You know, I had no control of my medicine. That's the only reason I did it.
Yeah. So and that's okay, girl. It's all good. So we do what we got to do. Okay. But you know, so for me, um, when I first started, when I was abusing, I was avoiding myself for so long. I was avoiding myself, but then it got to where, about 5 years ago, I just had this awakening and I just began to really go within and heal myself. And I really started to heal, but I was still stuck on this medication. This medication still had me stuck, and I was in the process, and it was very difficult. Like I had to let it go, but it was very, very challenging. So I guess what I'm trying to ask here is, you know, for you, do you feel like whatever the addiction reason, like, do you still feel do you want to use? Do you still get the urge to use? Because I didn't. That wasn't what I was literally taking it because if I stopped, it made me feel like shit. It wasn't that I got the urge to use anymore, or it wasn't that I was trying to mask anything. So it's kind of a tangent, but do you understand what I'm asking?
I don't get the urge to use or anything. Like, it's like my handcuffs are gone. You know, I'm not handcuffed to this for life. I seriously thought I was going to be on it for the rest of my life. I honestly God did.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people that think that they're going to be on it the rest of their life, and it's so funny because not funny, but some of these comments some of these comments I'll even see, like, we get so stuck in this loop, right? We just kind of get so stuck. We go to the I don't know about you, but the Suboxone clinic, you're doing this, you're stuck in this loop, da 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 da. And sometimes all it takes is somebody to just be like, hey, hello, this is not normal. Like, because I mean, there's been some comments where people are like, I needed to hear this. Like that they just needed to kind of be shook a little bit. You know what I mean? Like just, so that's where I'm even feeling even more compelled to keep putting more content out like that, because I'm like, the message will get to who it needs to get to. So, anyways, the reason I asked you that is because, so when do you go back for a second injection? I mean, what does that look like?
My second time, it hurt and everything. But they're like, oh, well, you'll get two, because the first Sublocade injection is the 300 milligram. Your second one is the 300 milligram. Your third and fourth one, they take you down to 100. Okay, I got the second one, I got the fourth one, and I'm like, okay, now what? And then I was following a woman on TikTok. She had recently got off of them through the Brixadi injection. So I was like, okay, if she can do it, it won't hurt to try. So I told my doctor, I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I've got knots in my stomach. This hurts. I, I think I'll be okay. I want to try to come off of it. She was like, well, against medical advice, I wouldn't do that. Blah blah blah. I was like, okay, I don't care. I'm gonna try it. It's worth a try. So
Okay. So you're wanting to come off of the Sublocade shot, and she's telling you that's against medical advice. Okay.
yeah,
I
she
need to
did.
stop. I need to stop yapping and listen to what you're saying. I apologize. Okay. But so now you're wanting to come off of the Sublocade, and what was the other shot you were trying to use to come off of it?
The Brixadi injection.
And what's that?
It's pretty much the same thing, but they can adjust the milligram, is what I was told. But it's adjustable. The Sublocade injection isn't, but the Brixadi, they can up your dose, lower your dose, whatever.
Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, my patients have done better on this, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay." I took it one time and I didn't go back.
Okay. Okay. So I didn't realize that you had done more than one Sublocade injection. Did you said you did 3 of them, correct? Okay. So
Or
question, you did 4. So couple questions actually. So number 1, did they hey guys, let me say hi to some people in the chat, just because I'm so grateful that everybody's here. Addiction is hell. Yeah, it sure is. We're coming together with it though, right? I mean, we're using this as something to come together and just drop the judgment. Okay. Let's see. Let me read this. I've been tapering off methadone for years. I keep, uh, yeah, it seems like we just kind of have to take shit into our own hands coming off of this stuff, right? So let's go back to your story here. I don't want to venture off too long because I feel like this is important. So, question: when you did the Sublocade shot, did they or did they not tell you that you were you on a certain dose? Or I mean, because I'm hearing some people saying that they're not on a high enough dose of Suboxone, and that if they want the Sublocade shot, they have to dose up their Suboxone and then go on the Sublocade shot. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it more than once, more than twice. Yeah. Have you heard that?
I've never heard of that.
No. So how much Suboxone were you on when you went to Sublocade?
I was on 16 milligrams,
Okay, you were
two
on,
eight,
I mean,
yeah, 8 milligrams a day.
right. Okay. Okay. And then what was my next question for you? So you said that first time that you got that injection, you said you felt really high, right? Did it do that each time? Did it do it
Not
every time?
next time. Like I had all kind of energy and everything. I mean, it was crazy. But after that, no, I didn't feel that feeling.
You didn't feel the feeling after the so you felt that the first injection and not again?
Yeah,
Okay.
nope.
Okay. I'm just trying to get an understanding. Everybody is going to be so different, right? But I'm so honored to be able to learn from everybody. I will admit that it is, it makes me a little testy, because I too am still experiencing pause and then just reading all these experiences of just incompetent doctors. So anyways, let's go back to your story. So this other shot that got you off of the Sublocade, what's the name of it again?
Brixadi, it's Brixaldi or
Okay.
Brixi, Brixadi injection.
Okay. And I think I've heard of this maybe twice. And what exactly is it?
I was told it was just like the Sublocade,
Hmm.
but pretty much they can adjust the dosage of it like where they couldn't with the Sublocade. They could take you all the way down to the lowest or. So I got one injection, the lowest milligram, and I've not had nothing since then. That was a month ago today. And I've not had no withdrawals, no urges, nothing.
And how did you feel with that injection? And if you told me, I apologize. I'm kind of spacey. But with that injection, did you get the high feeling? How did that feel?
It's
No?
the same.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. All right, let's see if there's any questions. So let me kratom can be helpful for coming off of methadone. I know. Yeah, I'm no doctor. Thank God for that. Okay. So I'm good. Then I'll probably listen a little better. All right. I'm just playing. Not really though. I'm really not. Yes, I agree. That's what I did. I'm gonna kind of talk a little bit about that if you don't mind. Let's talk about this because I used kratom, and I know kratom can be very, very addicting, but it can also be a very great tool if you use it the right way and you research a good kratom. And that's exactly what I used to come off of Suboxone. I mixed it with orange juice 3 times a day. It is still very addicting, but it really helped me. And what happened was my body got adjusted to the kratom, which took some time. Okay. And then after my body was adjusted, then I had to, wean myself off of that, which was a way easier, so much easier than Suboxone. I've I've experienced withdrawals from various things, and Suboxone is by far it's the worst. It is horrendous. It's
Yeah.
horrendous. I've got to find out what it is in that drug that is doing that is doing what it's doing to people. What
Hmm.
did you experience have you had a withdrawal from Suboxone? Do
Oh
you
yeah,
mind
I felt
sharing
like it.
do you mind sharing your experience from your withdrawals?
Yeah. No energy, sweats, like puking, diarrhea, didn't have no appetite. I wanted to die. That was the worst I had ever. But I don't wish that feeling upon anybody. I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah. And how long did how long did that go on for? For me, same thing. Mine was like, did you ever get the skin crawling?
No, I never got that.
No. Yeah, I still kind of experience that when I wake up in the morning. I get that skin crawling like underneath my arms. Let's see. Have you switched from methadone to Suboxone? I don't have I don't have any experience with methadone. I don't know anything about it. Do you?
No, I've
I
no
really
idea.
don't. Yeah. And I'm not saying that methadone is there's not, but I'm just feeling like I really, Suboxone for whatever reason, I just feel like I'm really wanting to kind of look into that a lot more, you know? So, all right, sweetie. Well, and you're gonna have to come back and tell us how you're feeling with everything and how it feels now. So I'd like to do, I want to have as many people on that feel comfortable enough talk about their experience. We don't have to go on and on and on, but is there anything else that you want to share? Like, is there any other experiences that you think the next person may want to hear?
The only thing I have to say, if you are introduced to this, try different other options, different methods before getting on this, because this will definitely ruin your life.
Yeah.
It will take control.
Well, I'm super proud of you. How are you feeling now? You're feeling good. You look good.
I actually feel normal. I feel normal. I don't have to wake up and rely on taking medicine every morning.
Yeah, that is so liberating in itself. I will tell you, like, I'm proud of you. I'm getting emotional. I'm proud of you. I really, really am. I will tell you, like, when I first stopped taking medication, I was on Xanax, Adderall, Ambien, and Suboxone. I kept all those bottles of pills in my purse and like carried it, under my arm. Like there were like it was gold, girl, and so it was the first thing that I did when I woke up in the morning, reached over, grabbed my purse, poured my pills. You know what I mean? It was the first thing I did. And I will tell you, getting over that psychological reaching for your purse and having like that whole thing in itself was such a mind screw. Like, I mean, at one point I even bought vitamins and put the vitamins in there and thought, no, 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 I got to break all that shit. Like, it was just such a mind screw. It really is.
It's a free feeling. You don't have that commitment to, taking that medicine every day just to feel normal. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm super proud of you because go ahead.
Strong willpower. You have to have a strong will. You gotta have a strong mind to be able to, you gotta want to do it.
Be able to come off of Suboxone and opiates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, yes, definitely. And we all have, I know it's, where people are so tired with just their everyday life, just taking care of their kids, doing this, doing that, that's the last thing that they want to do is deal with that shit. Right. And it's so upsetting for me because not everybody has the luxury of being able to fight that shit from home. They have things that they have to do. But I truly believe there is an easier way to navigate this. I just have yet to, get my fingers on it. Okay. And when I do, we're gonna be able to navigate this a lot better. I'm telling you. So I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. We're just gonna bring more and more people together. Do you know anybody else that's fighting this fight, girl? I mean, do you have friends that? Because if you do, send them on over.
My husband, as of right now.
Oh, is he doing the same fight?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm super proud of you, and I really appreciate you coming on today. Is there you so your last message, guys? Yeah, if you can come off of it, I would start trying to, just start weaning down. It is definitely possible. It really is. You do have to, we're all strong minded though. We can all do it. We've just been so beat down by the world today. So, Janie, so thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone in the chat. This is really cool. I really appreciate this. I'm not that great at like multitasking. So let's see. Hold on. Did the gentleman yesterday say the microdosing spray be used along with subs to taper off of it? He went more into, he didn't really, he was speaking more about the microdosing spray and Xanax. But I'm actually using that spray right now, and I bet you it would still be helpful, right? I mean, yeah, so that's all I know about that question. Let's see. I don't think he covered that. Good question. Awesome discussion. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate everybody being here. I really, really do. Thank you so much. Do not be a stranger. Stay in the chat. Stay and unveiling. We got to stay together. This is just the tip of the iceberg, dude. This is just the beginning of this. This is not over. We're gonna get through this, all of us. So thanks for coming on. I love you guys so much. I'll have a wonderful evening. Bye, babe.